Hey, I'm really excited to be able to go ahead and introduce you to SOARFLY. This is a lithium powered pruning shears, and these things are incredible. Super powerful, super lightweight, and just flat get the job done. So let's go ahead and check these things out. It comes in a really nice plastic case here that holds everything that's included in your lithium kit pruning shears. So we have an instruction manual, you can go through that. We have an extra set of blades. So we have a cutting blade here, it's razor sharp, and then there's a stop that matches up with this, and you'll be able to replace these, and I'll show you this on the unit here. So you get, so not only do you get the set that comes on the cutters, but you get a backup set. We have some tools, basic tools, Allen head wrenches. This is a little squeeze tube for putting oil in, so you're going to want to oil these on a regular basis. We'll talk about it in just a minute. And a sharpening stone for going ahead and resharpening your cutting blade. We also have our AC adapter, AC plug-in. We have 2 lithium-ion batteries, so you always have that backup. These are 21-volt batteries, and they work really well. They hold up really well. I'm going to show you that. And of course, the star of the show is the cutters themselves. Really feel nice in the hand. Okay, go ahead and take one of your battery packs, simply slide it in. You're locked in. All right, you're going to squeeze the trigger. Once we get the battery turned on, once we have the unit turned on, you'll squeeze the trigger and it will clip your limbs. So we'll go ahead and do a cut test here. So to get this turned on, there's a button on the front here, and you're just going to hold it right there. You heard that noise. So then all we do from there is just squeeze the trigger, and it goes ahead and closes the blade, which doesn't seem like it's a whole lot right there because it's not real fast, but the power that it has is absolutely incredible. I've got a couple test pieces here. This is bamboo. I have a ton of bamboo in my backyard that just grows like a weed. It is a first-class pain to get rid of. And this is turning out to be the best tool for doing the job. I've tried machetes, I've tried big loppers, I've tried chainsaws. Nothing really works super easy to get this stuff because it's real stringy, but these clippers just simply drop them on there, give it a squeeze. It just no problem whatsoever. So I can go right down to the ground level just below, give it a squeeze, knock these things out really fast and create some big piles. So moving on from there, here in Florida we have what's called a pepper tree. These are it's a pretty dense hardwood here, and it just grows like crazy too. So this is a little bit thicker, and you can see not any real problem there cutting through the pepper tree. And finally we have a piece of oak here, which definitely is a lot harder. This is green oak, so it's going to be even more difficult to cut through. So I want to show you this, because if you run into something that's a little bit thicker and it's giving you trouble, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that kind of, just keep hitting the trigger and it's going to move it around a little bit, and boom, you get it. Okay, so it took a little bit more than just a single cut, but you can see just cutting these little guys down. If you're going to be putting this down at the end of the road, you want to make it a little bit smaller so the guys can come back with a brush truck and get it. Really, really simple to do. So if you're just going ahead and pruning around your yard, I've got this pepper tree again right here. I just want to start cutting this thing down. It's just in my way. How difficult is that? When you're using regular pruning shears, of course, you're going to got to get a good squeeze, a good grip, and depending on how sharp they are, this thing is razor sharp. Do not get your fingers near this. I will caution you on that. Don't get your fingers near this thing, because it is very, very sharp, very effective, and cuts very, very easily. So that should give you a good idea of just how well these things work. One other thing I'll note, there is a place here that you're going to go ahead and oil your blade. So if you, with your little oil bottle, you'll squeeze it into this hole here, and that goes ahead and keeps oil on the blades, makes them work really smooth. So from there, all we're doing is holding the button down, and that's going to go ahead and turn the unit off. You want to make, there you go, you want to make sure it's off, and always take your battery off as well when you're going ahead and when you're done with your work for the day. Take the battery off. That way there's no way that you can squeeze the trigger and wind up cutting yourself, hurting yourself, cutting something you don't want to cut. So always take the battery out, just a precaution. Definitely safety first. But without a doubt, this unit here is absolute winner. You're going to love it. Once you have this tool, it's going to be your go-to every single time when you got to come out here and prune trees, knock stuff back. It's just so easy, so powerful. And like I said, you just one you got to have in your toolbox. So without question, pick one up today. You're going to love it.